So how do you write a YouTube script that keeps your audience engaged and actually gets views? Well, if you're watching this video, you might actually be scripting your videos in the wrong way. So whether you fully script or you use bullet points or you go mostly unscripted, there's a better way you can structure your content for maximum retention. So let's break down our 4-step framework for writing engaging YouTube scripts, and we'll even show you some of our real video scripts and planning process towards the end of this video. So before you begin writing your script, you've got to think about the way that you're going to make your video stand out from the rest of the videos out there. And what we call this is video packaging. And this is what's going to give your content a chance to even be seen in the first place. So think about it this way, right? Your video is the product, but your packaging is what's going to get people to click and choose that video over the hundreds of other options they have directly in front of them as they're scrolling on YouTube. So your packaging is going to consist of 3 key elements. The first is going to be your topic or the big idea. So what's your video about and why is it going to matter to your audience? So the first thing you want to do is just make sure that there's actually proven interest in your video idea before you move forward with the creation of the video. And I can speak to this firsthand. I've actually skipped this step before and I went off of a hunch and just thought to myself, this is a banger video idea. I think it's going to do great. And then the video flopped because there actually is no verified demand for that video to be produced. So you just want to do a little bit of research, verify that your topic and your idea is actually a good one before you start scripting out your video. Now, your second piece of video packaging is your video title. And this is going to be the headline of your video, and it's designed to attract attention, but also accurately describe the content contained within the video itself. So with your title, you want your viewer to be thinking, I need to watch this video. I have to watch this video. Take Mark Rober's video title right here, The World's Largest Jello Pool. Can you swim in Jello? I mean, what an amazing title. How could you not want to click on that video and watch it? And actually over 179 million people actually have watched it, which is wild. At Think Media, we actually come up with at least 5 to 10 titles for every single video concept. We don't just stop at the first idea we come up with. And usually we actually select maybe our 5th or 7th or 12th idea when it comes to titles, because there's usually always a little bit of improvement we can do to our initial title idea. And then comes the third and final piece of packaging, which would be the thumbnail. And this, of course, is that strong preview image that grabs attention and also complements your video title. And you absolutely want to know, or at least have a concept of what your thumbnail is going to look like before you start writing your script. And this is because you want to know what your viewers' expectations are going to be of your video. So your topic, title, and thumbnail are going to create your viewer expectations, and you're going to use those expectations to help inform your script writing process. So those are the 3 elements of packaging: your topic, title, and thumbnail. And it's kind of like your video's external branding or marketing. This is what's going to stop people in their tracks while they're scrolling through YouTube and decide to click on your video and not somebody else's.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
Now with good packaging, ideally somebody's gonna click on your video, but that is just the beginning. Now you're into the first 30 seconds of your video, and this determines whether they're gonna stay for the rest of the video or just turn yours off for a different piece of content. If you don't get this first 30 seconds right, you're gonna lose them before you even get to your core content, which honestly, your core content might be really, really good. But if you're not able to keep them around for the first 30 seconds, it really doesn't even matter how good your content is. Now, all of this is called the hook. And there are 2 great parts to every single hook. And the first is capturing attention. The goal here is to grab people's attention in the shortest amount of time possible. Some strategies here for grabbing attention include asking a compelling question at the beginning of your hook.
If you are starting a YouTube channel in 2025, what are the first 3 practical steps you would do to launch your channel?
You could also state a really interesting fact.
Around 100,000 Americans passed away in 2023 from a disease that almost no one understands.
You can make a bold or even an absurd statement.
I'm sitting in a hot tub filled to the brim with solid sand.
Or you could jump directly into the action.
I'm about to show you what a $500,000 experience looks like.
These are just some strategies for capturing attention at the beginning of your video, but whatever you do, please avoid the classic, like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You know, today we're gonna be talking about these 12 things and I'm gonna hop into number 1, but I just had my coffee. You know, we're having a good day today. No, please do not do this. Just get directly into your content, into engaging material. I honestly used to start off my videos with really long intros talking about what I'm going to cover in the video rather than just starting to cover the content of the video. And my retention graph in older videos really suffered, and I would struggle to maintain that viewership in that first 30 seconds. But now I'm way more polished in my intros and it's really paid off. But it's not enough to just grab attention during our hook. We also need to deliver on our packaging, which is kind of like the expectation or the promise that we made to our viewer through our topic, title, and thumbnail. And this is why people get so upset about clickbait, right? Because creators bait the click with a catchy title or a catchy thumbnail, but then they don't deliver on those expectations. So this is kind of a both and game. You have to hold attention, but you also need to deliver on the promise of your video. So if you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Your hook is everything. Write it out, test it, refine it, write it again like 3 different ways and new variations.
Another one.
Do everything you can to make the most interesting hook possible. And if you succeed, YouTube's gonna reward you with more viewers. Now, step 3 is gonna be our main content delivery. And this is where you're gonna unpack all of the main ideas and flesh out all of the important information of your video. Now that you've hooked your audience in and you got them past that first 30 seconds, your job is to keep them watching. This is actually the #1 desire of the YouTube algorithm. YouTube wants to serve up content to viewers that will keep them on the platform for as long as possible. And if your video is not retaining attention through a significant portion of its length, you're gonna have a really hard time hitting a wide audience and getting your content even suggested in the first place. So with the main body of our video, we wanna create a desire in our viewer to watch the entirety of the video by applying good storytelling techniques. You don't want to just dump all of the information and the payoff right at the beginning of your video. Instead, you want to kind of guide viewers through the content by first building tension, so you can set up a problem or a question at the beginning of your video before you reveal the answer towards the end of the content. Tension equals retention, and if you can build tension in your piece, it's really going to help drive people to stick around longer. You can also layer information, so answering one question then reveals another question that the viewer would be curious about and keeps them engaged for a longer duration. And then there's this concept called facts, feelings, and fun. An author and social media creator, Brendan Kane, highlights in his book, The Guide to Going Viral, that 75% of the population wants their content to be delivered with feelings, facts, and fun. It's a great book. We highly recommend it. We'll link it down in the description below. But a quick breakdown is first feelings, right? We want to use personal stories, emotional appeal, and relatable moments to make content stick and just feel more connected to your viewers. Facts are pretty obvious, right? You want to give clear information, concise information to educate your audience, but also allow them to make their own decisions about the information you're presenting. And then fun, of course, is just that humor piece, right? You want high energy, you want creative visuals to keep people entertained. So you might consider adding some B-roll or some graphics or some different high energy movements or transitions during your video with the goal of keeping people entertained.
Are you not entertained?
If you can find a way to incorporate all 3 of these things, facts, feelings, and fun into your content's gonna resonate with way more people. And then finally, step 4 is our outro and our call to action. And this is the final 15 seconds to maybe about a minute of your video. And this is where you're gonna direct your audience to what's happening next. And we gotta remember, YouTube's goal is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. And your goal should be to keep them watching your content for as long as possible. The longer viewers stay on your channel, the more YouTube is gonna promote your videos. So some tips for creating a strong outro would be, first, keep it short. There's really no reason for an outro to be any longer than a minute. And really, some of the best outros are like 10 seconds long or even less. Now is not the time to get long-winded because it's gonna hurt your overall retention graph. Second is to make sure you keep your energy up throughout your outro and be very clear with your communication. Your outro should feel just as polished as the rest of your video. And finally, you wanna give them a clear next step. Don't just say, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Instead, tell them exactly what you want them to do next. If you like this video, then this one's gonna be a deep dive training into 3 key more principles, something like that, where you can actually add an end screen with a clickable video recommendation so they can easily continue consuming your content. This drives traffic back to your channel, and there's actually a metric here that YouTube measures called average views per viewer, which actually measures how many videos someone watched on your channel after they just consumed one piece of your content. So the bottom line here is you always want to guide viewers to a potential next video that they could watch, because while one view is really awesome, someone binge watching 5 pieces of your content in a row is even better. So when you put all these pieces together, this is the kind of document that you might be creating. And here's kind of a template you can work with. So this includes our 4 steps, right? So step 1 is this idea of packaging, topic, title, thumbnail. We want to include ideas about our thumbnail and our title in our script document. Then step 2 would be crafting your hook, and typically you would script this out word for word most of the time. Then you get into your main content, step 3, and then step 4 would be your outro and CTA. And when you put all of these pieces together and you flesh it out fully, here is what that will look like. So we have a working title up top, right? The 5 best beginner cameras for video in 2024. And then a bunch of different title variations that I've crafted, either I've thought of, or I've looked at references, or even workshop with AI, something like ChatGPT or Gemini to come up with these different concepts. And then you get into some of these thumbnail ideas. So I love to have these thumbnail references just literally directly in my script, so I sort of know what this packaging and the positioning is going to be of my video, to put myself in the frame of mind of a viewer who would just click on a potential thumbnail and then they get into my content. I want to understand and think about the perspective that they're entering into my video with. Sometimes we'll also add some gear that we mention in the video in our script as well. But then it gets into the hook. So again, the hook is the most important piece of your video. You want to script this word for word and make sure it's very pointed, it's very clear as well. So we always script our hooks. And then is your main outline. So this is the really fleshed out part of your video, right? So there's, in this video in particular, is like reviewing 5 different cameras, Pocket 3, Z30, and I'm just doing bullet points here of the most important information. And I don't necessarily have to read this word for word, right? So I'm bolding here, it's talking about the stabilization. And I sort of know already about these cameras and their different features, but I kind of just script out all the information that is most important for me to remember. And then during my delivery, I'll kind of extemporaneously start including things or excluding things based on how my content delivery just feels in the moment. And then if we scroll all the way down to the bottom of step 3, we see step 4, which is our final step, the outro and the call to action. And so in this instance, right, our call to action is a specific video. And since we're talking about the Pocket 3 in this video, we're going to send them to our 50 hidden features, settings, and tips about the Pocket 3 video, just kind of completing the loop and hopefully grabbing their attention and then helping them get into the cycle of watching 2 or 3 of our videos rather than just hopping off after the first video they just watched. And here's just a quick behind the scenes look at our Milanote board. So Milanote is a software that we use to do a lot of our content planning as a team, and all of our team members, like our graphic designers, our editors, our content creators, can all see these boards and make comments on them. So we're doing competitor analysis, we're creating notes and outlines, and within this section here is actually the script. So that's the script we were just talking about. And then there's lots of things. We're testing titles, we're doing thumbnail inspiration. So you can see there's a lot that goes into planning a video here at Think Media. And I know a lot of this can look overwhelming, but if you just bring it back to these simple 4 steps, the packaging, your topic, title, thumbnail, the hook, the main body of content that you have, and then your outro and call to action. That's going to give you a repeatable script framework so you don't always have to start from scratch. So that's our simple 4-step framework to write a quality YouTube video that keeps your viewer engaged. If you're ever questioning where to begin with your content creation process, you can always come back to this framework as a starting point to point you in the right direction. And if you're wanting to grow your YouTube channel this year, you can click or tap the screen to check out some proven growth strategies this year on YouTube, and we'll see you in that video.